So just come onto your belly. Stack your hands and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. And just drop into the weight of your bones. So you're turning away from the outer world into your inner world. Nourishing yourself from the inside out. So this is our work as winter approaches, is turning inward. Take somewhere between 6 and 10 rounds of breath and just feel the breath move through your body. Feel your abdomen against the floor. When we breathe in the belly, that activates the parasympathetic nervous system. If you feel any kind of tension in your low back, draw your tailbone down towards your heels. Good. And then from here, just slide your hands, slide your forearms underneath, elbows underneath shoulders, so you're in the Sphinx pose. And then interlace your fingers and slide up onto your knees. So you're in like a table, but on the forearms versus the hands. And then just move through some cat-cows here. And then keep this kind of puppy pose and bring your hips right and left. And then begin to circle your hips. So draw your hips back over your heels, then take them over to the left, then come forward and go to the right. So you're making some big circles with your hips as you sort of move back and forth. So you'll come forward, chest over hands or thereabouts, and then bring your hips back. And let this be really fluid. And then reverse directions. Coming back to neutral, now take your hands underneath your shoulders so you're in the true table. And take a couple rounds of cat-cow here. Let your hips be the leader, head comes last. And then bring your knees a little closer together, not quite touching, but underneath the hips. And inhale and release the right leg long. And exhale and draw the right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, reach the leg long. Keep your pelvis nice and steady here. Exhale, draw in. Just a few rounds like that, keeping the pelvis nice and steady, nice and level. And the next time you've got your right leg extended, sweep it out to the right. Take the sole of your foot to the floor and slide your hips back towards your heels. You could come to your forearms here or stay up on your hands, whatever feels better. So you'll feel an opening in the inner groin, right leg. Inhale back up to table and reach now your right leg over to the left. Turn your right toes under and look over your left shoulder if possible at your right foot. And then sweep your right leg back, set your right knee on the floor. 2 rounds of cat-cow. All right, and then inhale, take the left leg long, and exhale, round, bring the left knee into the chest. Inhale, lengthen out, keep the back of your neck long here, and exhale, bring your knee into your chest. Go at your own pace, but let your actions be fluid, not in a hurry. And then the next time you've extended your left leg long, sweep it out to the left, place the sole of your foot on the floor, and draw your hips back towards your heels. Feel an opening along the inner groin, lengthening here. Inhale to come back up, reach the left leg long and across to the right side of your body. Turn your toes under. You might even pulse through the leg there, but take your gaze over your right shoulder. That's your left foot. Come back to center. Come back to table. 2 rounds of cat-cow. Then turn your toes under. Here's where a block might be nice. We're gonna do broken toe pose. So you come hips to heels, or you could sit on the block in any height of the block. Good. Interlace your hands behind your back and press your knuckles down towards the floor. Draw your arms away from your back. Now, can you reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, the back of your skull up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet? So the back of your neck is long as you continue to press your knuckles towards the floor. Really ground your sit bones into the prop or to your heels. Then just slowly release the clasp of your hands. Let your arms just be relaxed alongside of your body. Now here you could take the tops of your feet to the floor. If you're on a block, you want to change the height, you can come down to the lowest height. And inhale, sweep arms up. Interlace your fingers again, press your palms towards the ceiling, and draw your sit bones down into the prop or the floor. Keep the back of your neck long, and then reach just your ribs, just your side ribs. Reach the right side ribs over to the right. Back to center, left side ribs over to the left. Just move back and forth a few times this way. Just trying to reach side ribs. If possible, elbows are straight. And then slowly release your hands. Roll shoulders up, down, and back. And then bring your fingertips to your shoulders. And just backstroke. And allow yourself to come into a twist here. Great. Come back to center. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And then take a twist to the left. Right hand to the outside of your left leg. And then your left hand behind, fingertips just behind, like a little kickstand. Come through center, lengthen again. On the inhale and on the exhale, twist to the right. We come back to center now. If you're on a prop, take that away so that you can come down into child's pose. So either knees together, resting your upper body on your thighs, or knees separated, big toes together, come right down to the center with your body, take your forehead to the floor. Now tent your fingers here so that you have your arms off the floor. Draw the head of your humerus firmly into your shoulder. So it's a little bit more active than some times when we do the child's pose. So if you can lengthen through your spine, so tailbone is reaching down and away, but arms are active. Then take your elbows to the floor, bend at the elbows, bring your hands to prayer to the back of your neck. Lengthen the back of your neck by kind of hooking your thumbs, where your thumbs meet your hands, that joint, hook that right at the base of your skull, and see if you can lengthen the back of your neck slightly. Just keep the back of the neck long. Now, if you feel yourself starting to sag, draw your navel up and in. And then release your hands back down to the floor, hands underneath shoulders, press yourself up. So you'll be in either knees together or knees separated. If you have your knees together, can you separate your knees so that your big toes are together, but your knees are separated? It's sort of like a frog stance. And then just come forward again onto your forearms. So knees are out wide. Forearms are on the floor. And maybe this is where you stay. Or maybe you're able to let your knees go even wider and bring your belly down towards the floor. You'll have to slide your forearms forward. So I can't come all the way to the floor, but I can get pretty close. Then walk your hands back. Take knees underneath hips, your back and table, and do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Next time you inhale and come into cow, turn toes under, press hips up and back, downward facing dog. And just lift your heels and drop your heels towards the floor. Lift your heels, drop your heels towards the floor. Now, tilt your pelvis forward. Roll your triceps down towards the floor. Inhale, bring your knees down, come to cow. Exhale, drop your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Inhale, just do a few rounds of this little warm up. Come to cow. Turn toes under, exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward onto your knees, cow. Exhale, round and bring your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Inhale, back up to cow. Turn toes under, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Cow. Exhale, round and sit back. Then the next time you inhale, come straight up so that you're standing on your knees and reach your arms up overhead. Take your time, you might be a little dizzy. Keep the back of your neck long. And now interlace your hands and take your hands right to the base of your skull. Your interlaced hands, like you're, relaxing in your lounge chair, and just tug a little bit on the base of your skull, really lengthening the back of your neck. Okay. Release your hands. Now you might want your blocks here. 1 or 2 forward, and bring your right foot forward. Taking your hands to the floor or to the blocks, and then just allowing your hips to come forward. So deep bend in the right knee, and then pressing back. Just back and forth a few times. And then landing in proposal pose. So the 90 degrees and bend in the front leg, the 90-degree bend in the back leg. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your left hand to your left hamstring and a slight lateral bend to the left. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, right hand to the left hamstring and a slight lateral bend to the right. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, straighten your front leg, maybe sliding that foot forward, and just bow into a prayer position. Inhale, as you sweep your arms up, bend your front leg, and exhale, twist, open twist to the left. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, twist, closed twist to the front or to the side of the front leg. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, hands behind your back, and bow again, straightening your front leg. Inhale, back to proposal pose. You can take your hands to your blocks here, or leave your hands on your waist, or take your hands to your front knee, but turn the back toes under and press up into crescent lunge. Lifting the back hamstring. Inhale, sweep arms up. Now, can you lift the heart area, but keep the back of your neck really nice and long? Exhale, drop the back heel, turn that foot out slightly, and find yourself in warrior 2.
Inhale, straighten the front leg. Hands come together. Exhale, bend through the back, the front leg, and come back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, both hands overhead, and turn the front foot so that now you're in a wide stance, both feet facing the same direction, and then take a fold here. You could have your block, hands to the block, forehead to the block. To the floor. And then from this position, bend through your knees slightly, hands to your thighs, drop your booty and come up to standing. And we're going to keep the knees bent a little bit and move back and forth. So we're going to bend the right leg, come to the right, bend the left leg, come to the left. You can have hands on your thighs, or you could have your hands at heart center. Just moving back and forth a bit here. After a few rounds, come back to the middle and heel toe feet together. And we're going to go to the other side. So let's just come to Tadasana. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, fold through center. Inhale to a halfway lift, keeping the back of your neck really long. And exhale, fold, hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop your knees, come to cow. Exhale, round through your back, set your hips back, child's pose. Inhale, come up to cow. Turn toes under, exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, knees to the floor, cow. Exhale, round, come back, child's pose. Then on this next inhale, press straight up to standing on your knees. Inhale, your arms overhead. And then release your hands, take your left foot forward now. Set your blocks up around beside your foot. So you're in the proposal pose to start, and hands can come to floor or blocks at any height. And then just moving back and forth in your hips. Keep some engagement in your core as you move back and forth here. Land in proposal pose, coming back up to this 90-degree bend in the front leg, 90-degree bend in the back leg. Left foot is forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, release your right hand to your right hamstring and a slight lateral bend to the right. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, left hand to the right hamstring. Slight lateral bend to the left. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale, you're gonna bring your hips back, hands behind your back, straighten the front leg, a bit of a prayer fold here. Inhale, sweep your hands back up. Exhale, turn open. So twisting to the right, then inhale, sweep, arms back up, exhale, twist to the left. Now back to center, arms up. Here, hands can be on blocks, waist or front thigh. Turn the back toes under, press your back leg straight, and come up into crescent lunge. Inhale, reach The arms up, up, up. Fingertips reaching. Back of the neck is long. And we'll interlace your hands to the back of your skull and kind of tug there, lengthening the back of the neck. Good. Inhale to reach the fingertips towards the sky, and then turn the back foot as you open up and set yourself into warrior two. You might have to adjust your feet a bit. Good. Then we'll inhale, straighten the front leg, arms come up above your head. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Then as we inhale the next time, so turn that left foot so the feet are lined up. You can bring the hands above your head into your waist and take a fold. So in this forward fold, hands to the floor, to a block. I have your head on a block or to the floor. And then bending through your knees, hands to your hips, press your heels firmly into the floor as you come up to stand. And from here, bring the feet together, Tadasana. Just close your eyes for a sec. Let your palms face forward and draw your shoulder blades down your back. Bring your ears back over your shoulders, so kind of make a double chin. And feel the length in the back of your neck. Draw your tailbone down. Just allow your breath to slow down slightly. So one of the ways we can practice life on the mat is to take these pauses when we get going, something gets us going, positively or negatively. The stress can be both. And then just taking these pauses to recalibrate. Good. Now from here, open your eyes. We'll step the right foot forward, left foot back in the warrior one stance. You're going to want your block up by your front foot. So right foot forward and left foot back. Back foot is turned out. And as you press into the back foot, bend the front knee. Notice if you need to open up your stance a bit so that the front ankle is under the front knee. And you can vinyasa that a couple times, just really practicing the stepping into the back foot as you bend through the front knee. So those actions are happening simultaneously. And then the next time you do all that, you can add lifting the arms. So we find ourselves in warrior one. Get that double chin going again. So bring your ears back over your shoulders so that you have a nice length in the back of your neck. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, just press your hands slowly down towards the floor as you straighten your front leg. Great. Now from here, inhale. As you inhale, you'll open up into the warrior two stance again. Open up into the warrior two stance. Now in this warrior two, just holding that and holding your warrior two stance, flip the front palm, straighten the front leg, just stay in this like now we have triangle legs, and then reach the front ribs forward, coming down to your block or the floor, and preferably the block is to the outside of your lower leg. Back hand can come to your hip and really scoop your belly. Right foot is forward, so you're scooping your belly towards the left side. Then stack arms in triangle. Feel the engagement through the back leg, the front leg, and this nice opening in your heart space. And bending through your front knee, take your hand to your hip. Turn your head, your shoulders towards the front leg. Turn your back foot, lifting your back heel. And inhale, come back to crescent lunge. Reaching fingertips towards the ceiling, and on your exhale, bring your hands down around your front foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees in this downward dog and get a forward tilt in the pelvis. Wrap your triceps down towards the floor, re-extend your legs. Now walk your feet towards your hands towards your feet, until you're kind of in the middle of the mat and you're in a very, very short downward dog. Keep that interior tilt in your pelvis. Drop your heels, bend your knees, come into a deep athletic stance, press yourself up. Good. You should be somewhere near the back of your mat. So now step the left foot forward. Have your block near the front of your mat, near that front foot. And then drop into warrior two on this side. So you can vinyasa this a couple times. Just find the right amount of length between your feet. Pressing into the back leg, the back heel, activating this back leg as you bend through the front leg. So arms don't even have to be involved. And then the next time you land in warrior two, turn your front palm, reach forward. Now straighten the front leg. So you should find yourself in triangle legs, okay? Back heels out slightly. Really feel the engagement in the back leg. Front leg is straight. And now you can keep you've got left foot forward now. You can keep your right hand at your waist, but really reach the left ribs forward. It's like you're offering something to somebody. Then you take the tilt down towards either your block, your shin, your ankle, but have that front hand connected to something. Don't have it just hanging out. Spin your belly. Spin your navel up towards the right side of your belly. Right hand can stay on hip, or you could stack the arms here in triangle. Keep the back of your neck long. You could even do that little tug again. The back of your skull. Heart open here. And as you inhale and reach, the arms, the hands apart. Feel an opening through the collarbones. Then we're going to bend the front knee, spin our gaze, our shoulders, finally our hips as we turn our back foot and come into crescent lunge on this side. Draw the tailbone down, back hamstring lifting for the ceiling. Whew. Strength here. Heart lifting. Inhale, reach fingertips. Exhale, hands down around the front foot. Step your feet back, downward facing dog. Take a deep bend in your knees, anterior tilt of the pelvis. Really get that little arch in your back if you can. Spin your triceps down towards the floor. Re-extend the legs. Notice what's happening, especially when you spin your triceps down towards the floor. Is all the weight on your pinky side of your hand? If so, recommit to the thumb side. So yes, there's a spiraling through the arms. Walk your feet towards your hands towards your feet. So you're in a short, really short downward dog. Bend through your knees deeply. Set back on your heels, so it's like you're ready for action here. And then press up to standing. Tadasana. Palms forward. Fingers down towards the floor. Take that pause again. Notice in your pausing, if you're still holding a lot of contracted musculature. So can you really take the pause, let everything relax for a minute? Like the old adage of taking a deep breath. And from here, if you're not already into the center of your mat, come back to the center of your mat. Step your right foot forward again, your left foot back, come back to warrior one stance. Okay. So as you press into the back foot, bend through the front knee. Hands to hips here. Inhale, back of the neck long. Exhale, as you fold and lift the back foot, any amount. It could touch the floor. It could lift slightly. Straighten the front leg. Version of warrior 3. Back leg could be touching the mat, lifted. And then draw your hips back as you set your left foot back. Come back to warrior 1 stance. Hands on hips. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, just start to fold or hinge forward, drawing the back foot 1 or 2 steps up. Straightening through the front leg and balancing. Heart open. Come out, you just start to bend through the front leg, drive your hips back and step back into warrior 1 with the feet. Let's do that one more time. One more time. So wherever you are, and this one you might have your foot resting on the floor. Be able to lift the foot. You could change the position of your hands, reaching your hands back, opening the heart space. So interlacing the hands like we did when you're sitting. And then drive hips back, step left foot back. Inhale, sweep arms up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands down around the front foot. Step your foot back, downward facing dog. Get a deep bend in your knees so you get that really the forward tilt of the pelvis. We straighten the legs so our back is nice and long, elongated here. There's good length through the back. Next inhale, bring your knees to the mat, cow. Exhale, round, press back, child's pose. Inhale, back up to cow. Turn toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, cow. Exhale, press round, come back. Child's pose, keep the arms lifted here. It's an active child's pose. Back up. One more time, turn toes under, press up your back, downward facing dog. And then we'll transition to 0-1 on the other side. So inhale the left leg out. And as you exhale, bring that foot forward, turning your back foot and coming up into warrior 1 on this side. Hands to hips to start. On your next exhale, you just start to lean forward, bringing the back foot up 1 or 2 steps at a time, either touching the floor, lift it off the floor, lift it to parallel. Back of the neck stays long. Then you drive your hips back, step your right foot back, come back to warrior 1 stance. Hands can stay on hips. We're going to repeat a couple times. So as you lean forward, come forward, lift back leg. Bend through front leg, drive hips back, step back. Again, so this is, we're adding a little stress. So as you go through this, try to be cognizant of that. It's purposeful. And we want to find the ease in our effort. Back, landing again. Warrior 2 or warrior 1 stance. And now sweep the arms up. Now, can you find some length in the back of your neck, heart space lifting? Find some ease here. Fingertips reaching, and then exhale, hands down around the front foot. Step that foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale to come to cow. And now just come right down onto your belly. Come back to crocodile. And now see if you can settle your breath. So you may have a little bit of an elevated heart rate from the harder work there. And now just use the floor and the pressure against the floor to really settle your breath. So activating parasympathetic nervous system by being on the belly, breathing on the belly. And then from there, roll over to your back. Take your arms out into a T position, and you can have your knees bent or legs straight, either way. And we'll just continue to activate the parasympathetic nervous system here through the neck and the head. So turning your gaze to the left, rolling your head to the left and coming back through center and rolling your head to the right. And just going back and forth, nice and slow though, back and forth a few times. Keep your chin tucked slightly, so the back of your neck stays really long here. Good. Come back to center, and then take your arms to like a goalpost position. Tuck your chin, press your low back into the floor, tuck your chin into your chest, really almost like you're trying to take the cervical curve out of your, behind your neck. You're really pressing the back of your head into the floor. Pressing your low back into the floor. Yeah, this could feel a little bit effortful, so don't overdo it. It seems like a simple thing, but we're just pressing the back of the head into the floor, tucking your chin. And then we'll release that. Bring your hands down to your sides, palms up. And then really kind of press your shoulder blades underneath your back so you feel your whole shoulder blade against the floor. So that might mean you have a little bit of arch underneath your back. And then slide right hand down towards right heel. Release, slide left hand down. So you're moving now back and forth. Right hand, back of your hand slides down towards your feet. Release and then slide the left hand down. And notice what happens in the shoulder blades. Try to keep the shoulder blades firmly on the floor. So we're stretching the side of the neck. And come back to center, relax everything. Take one hand to heart space, one hand to belly. Let your knees rest together. Just take a pause here and recalibrate. Okay, now upper arms into the floor. We're going to press into bridge. So heels close to your buttocks, so you could just touch them with your fingers. Arms in robot arm position with the fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. Let's lift the toes and press your heels into the floor first. Really feel an activation in the hamstrings. And then as you slowly let the whole foot come back to the floor, keep that work in the hamstrings. Press your hips up into a bridge. Evenness through the pelvis. You can keep your arms in this position or rock back and forth to get the shoulders underneath, interlace hands underneath your back and press your pinkies into the floor. And lift your toes again and feel the hamstring work. And slowly let the feet come down. Now chin is tucked in slightly here to keep the back of the neck long. Now to come out, we'll bring our hands back to robot arms. If you don't have them there, lift the heels. Now can you roll down one vertebra at a time? Really just coming out of this like you're unfurling a ribbon or something, or just really slowly unfurling everything. Let your knees come together, one hand to your belly, One hand to your chest area, heart area. Deep breaths here to recalibrate. Okay, and then we're going to go back to another bridge, another strong bridge, and Chakasana could be in, you could do a wheel if you wanted to, or as we press up, you could do the one leg. So I'll cue some of that, but let's get back to knees separated, upper arms press into the floor, elbows into the floor, engage the hamstrings, and then lift your hips, press, press, press. So if you wanted to say lift one leg at a time, bring the opposite foot in towards midline, then you can lift one leg. Set that one down, bring it towards midline, lift the opposite leg. If you're just hanging out in bridge, that's fine as well. Just making a little effort here. You could practice the feet wider. It's wider. Or you could go up into wheel. Again, option to leave arms in robot arms or shift your shoulders underneath. Shoulder blades really come flat onto the floor, interlace hands. And then with your low back, pressing the hips up. Come out the same way. And allow yourself to really unfurl. See if you can feel every vertebra making contact with the floor as you use the support of the floor prop. Roll all the way down. Let the knees rest together, hand to belly, hand to heart space. Deep belly breath here, deep belly breath to recalibrate. And then from here, straight to Shavasana, either stay in this position, you can rest the knees together, or take the legs long, or go back to your belly and go back to crocodile and really feel your belly breath against the floor. If you're happy on your back, just find some stillness in this Shavasana position. Anything else you might need? Find you feel wiggly or gotta do a little something else. Just take care of yourself here as we settle for a few minutes. Resting pose. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart space. Feel the depth of your breath, your being. Whether you be the source or the reflection, be the light. Whether you be the source or the reflection, be the light. Stay if you wish, and if you wish to come up and have a seat, gather and say, have a chat, and I'll stop the recording.